I lost over 15 kg in the last 2 years, and here are a few things that I wish I knew sooner. If you've tried to lose weight but keep falling off, then this video is going to change things. Really quickly, I didn't grow up loving fitness. I absolutely hated it. I felt uncomfortable in my body, and because of this, I would turn to food as a coping mechanism. And unfortunately, I didn't eat the right foods, which led to an unhealthy relationship with food, lots of binge eating, and then I absolutely hated exercise on top of this. So I ended up gaining a lot of weight and feeling really unhappy in my body. And then it turned into a spiral effect. Because I felt unhappy in my body, I would turn to food. And then because of this, I would then feel 10 times more anxious than I should have. And each time I would try and start something, I would just feel frustrated because I didn't see any results, and I would give up, which of course led me exactly back to where I started. But then something shifted. Instead of trying to do everything, I focused on just doing a few small things a week and stuck to that consistently, which then, over the course of 2 or 3 months, I started to see results. And I remember at my 3-month mark was the exact time I looked in the mirror, I saw results, I felt stronger from going to the gym a few times a week, and that then turned into my motivation to want to carry on and to want to get better. Now I've lost over 15 kg and I feel so much stronger. I've got my confidence back, I have a good relationship with food again, and now I get to help others do the same. So that's why I'm making this video, because I want to share my top tips which helped me go from 75 kg to 55 kg. Before we start this video, I thought I would introduce myself. My name's Sophia and I'm an online fitness coach. I get to help people overcome their struggles after going through the exact same struggles myself. I will leave a link in the description below for my one-to-one coaching. We have a few offers on because it's Black Friday, so be sure to check that out. But with all that said, let's get into this video. So my top tip when it comes to weight loss would be focus on your diet. Now, you don't have to be perfect 100% of the time because you're only human. And of course, there's gonna be foods that you love. There's gonna be times where you're gonna wanna go out with your friends or your family, and it's gonna be hard to stick 100% to a diet plan. But one of the main things that I've realized, you just have to be mindful of what you eat. Focus on lots of protein in every single meal. For example, you want to try and have around 2 grams of protein per kg of your body weight. So for example, if you weigh 60 kg, you want to try and be having at least 120 grams of protein a day. Now, the reason why protein in your diet is so important is because not only does protein help your muscles grow, but it also helps you recover. It helps you feel fuller for longer. Overall, it's just amazing for your body. Now, once I started incorporating protein into my diet, that is when I started to see results because my muscles started developing, I would feel full, and I didn't want to snack that often, and it also helped with my recovery. So as an example, if you're wondering which foods are high in protein, a few meals that I'd recommend would be Greek yogurt. Eggs are a great source of protein and good fats. Chicken, tuna, steak, salmon, things like that. But if you're a vegetarian, don't worry, I've got you, because I was vegetarian for 3 years during my weight loss journey, and I would focus a lot on having tofu, whole grains. Eggs were a huge part of my diet when I was vegetarian. And also there are vegetarian fake meats which also contain a lot of protein. So just remember that your diet is one of the key things to when you are losing weight. You also want to be focusing on your calories in versus your calories out. So for example, if you are somebody who has a maintenance of around 2,000 calories a day, which is like the usual adult, then in order to lose weight, you're gonna want to put yourself into a calorie deficit. Now, if you're unsure of what a calorie deficit means, it basically means having less calories and burning more. So as I say, for example, if you are somebody whose maintenance is 2,000 calories, then being in a calorie deficit could simply mean taking away 300 calories and eating 1,700 calories instead. This way, you will still be able to lose weight, but also enjoy the foods that you love. Another one of my favorite tips would be stop trying to be perfect and stop trying to do everything all at once. You do not have to be perfect 100% of the time. Think of it as 80 to 20% ratio, because consistency beats perfection every single time. You would rather be consistent over the course of a few months opposed to go all out in a week or two and then fall off track, because that is exactly what I used to do. I used to think you had to just go crazy, do as much as you can within a space of a few weeks, but then that just causes burnout and it's going to make you want to fall off track. Whereas if you're consistent, maybe starting off 2 or 3 days a week, and you gradually build that up over the course of a few months, not only are you not going to fall off track, but you're going to end up building sustainable habits, which is the key to losing weight and building muscle. Now, also, one of the most underrated tools for fat loss is getting your steps in, and I cannot express this. This is something I always say to my clients. Get your steps in. Now, you want to try and aim for 10 to 12K a day. This might seem like a lot, but trust me, if you're somebody who is quite active and you're able to just walk around or even go on a 20-minute walk in the evening, it is going to make such a huge difference. I didn't realize that fat loss simply came from just moving more. You don't have to go crazy in the gym all the time. You just have to be active. Now, when it comes to the gym, you see a lot of people saying you have to train 5 or 6 days a week to see results. You have to be in the gym for 2 or 3 hours. But I cannot express enough, this is not true. You just need a good workout plan to follow, even if it's 2 or 3 times a week, and you stick to it over the course of a few months, you will see results. Especially if you are somebody who is new to exercise, because your body isn't used to this type of movement, you're going to be burning calories a lot faster than somebody who has been going to the gym for a few years. You want to make sure that you are pushing yourself until failure. You don't have to do a crazy amount of reps, you just have to show up for yourself. And honestly, it can feel really scary at first, especially when you walk into a gym and there's loads of people who look like they've been going there for ages. It can feel really overwhelming, but I promise you, it doesn't have to be. The gym is one of the best communities, and everybody is in there for their own reasons, so chances are they're not even looking at you when you walk in. I used to walk into the gym and think, what if I'm doing that wrong? What if everybody's staring at me? What if someone's gonna come over and correct me? But that never happened because everyone is so lovely and supportive. I've met some of my best friends within the gym. So if you are someone who is scared to enter the gym, I promise you, if you can just show up even for 5 or 10 minutes, you're gonna feel so much better. And this gym anxiety will start to wear off. You just have to keep showing up. Now, I also got honest with myself on my journey about emotional eating. This was something that I used to do far too often. I used to turn to food as one of my coping mechanisms, especially when I was stressed. I used to eat when I was bored. I would just eat because I'm tired. Now, this can be one of the hardest cycles to break, but I started asking myself the question, am I actually hungry or am I just bored? So once I started asking myself this, I would then pay attention to what I was eating and realized I didn't need to eat all of the time, because that is where most of my weight loss came from, just because I kept eating and eating when I didn't even need to. Now, if I feel hungry, I will always have a glass of water first to see if I'm actually hungry, especially after some of my meals. And remember, your food takes time to digest. So I know a lot of the time you can eat a huge meal, feel full for about 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes you think, oh, I'm really hungry again, I need to eat, or I need a sugary dessert. But just wait, because chances are your food hasn't even digested properly, so you're not going to feel full. If you can have a glass of water after or during your meal, chances are you're going to feel fuller for longer, and especially if you have had a good high protein meal. And lastly, you don't have to be on this journey alone. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I know exactly how overwhelming this journey can feel, and I promise you, having someone, even if it's your friends or your family, there holding you accountable and supporting you makes all the difference. And I know that one of the hardest parts of a weight loss journey can be doing it in silence, especially from my own experience. So please know that you can always message me on Instagram or on TikTok. Even if you just need a bit of advice, I will link my Instagram and my TikTok below. It's at SophClareFit, the same as my YouTube. But if you also do want a plan made, then as I mentioned, you can sign up to my one-to-one online coaching where you can receive custom meal plans, workout plans. I will be there holding you accountable and basically giving you that kickstart on your journey so that you don't have to do this alone. So if you are starting your journey or restarting it, just know that I see you, I have been you, and I promise you, you can do this. Just remember why you started, and every time you feel like giving up or you feel like you've lost motivation, picture that person that had this dream, because once you remind yourself of why you started in the first place, that will keep you going. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found these tips helpful. And if you want more realistic weight loss tips, then of course be sure to subscribe. I also do daily vlogs and workout videos, and I will see you in the next video.